But what if the profound freedom and lasting peace you seek lies not in a divine intervention, not in external salvation, but within the very fabric of your own being? What if the path to liberation is a journey of The Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, a human being like us, taught that suffering arises from attachment and craving, not from divine punishment or inherent sin. He observed the world not through faith in an external deity. The profound implication of this teaching is self-empowerment. If our suffering is not a punishment from an external entity, but rather a consequence of our own internal patterns and choices, then we also hold the inherent power to understand. And this non-theistic approach is not about denying the existence of God, but rather about a practical focus on what we can directly experience and change. It's not atheism in the confrontational sense, but a methodology. Instead of praying for salvation, this perspective has profound practical implications for our daily lives. Ethical choices become not about divine commandment or fear of retribution, but about understanding the immediate and long-term impact of our actions on ourselves and others. We cultivate kindness, compassion. Inner peace is found not by waiting for external conditions to be perfect, but by cultivating mindfulness in the present moment. In the simple acts of daily life, drinking tea, walking through a garden. Through meditation, we train the mind to observe without judgment. We learn to see thoughts and emotions arise and pass like clouds drifting across the sky without grasping onto them or being carried away. This practice, free from dogma, this path, rooted in self-empowerment and direct experience, frees us from the burden of external validation, from the fear of divine judgment, and from the endless cycle of craving that binds us to suffering. The peace you seek is not a distant reward, nor is it granted by an external authority. It is a discovery within, a cultivated state of being that arises from your own efforts to understand, to let go. Many of us embark on a lifelong quest for peace, often looking beyond ourselves for a guiding hand or a divine intervention. We seek comfort in external sources, hoping a higher power will bestow upon us the serenity we deeply crave. Buddhism offers a profoundly different and empowering perspective. The path to freedom and lasting peace resides not in external deities or saviors, but within the depths of our own mind. It's a journey of self-discovery where wisdom, compassion.
This Buddhist perspective profoundly empowers us. We come to understand that we are the primary architects of our own experience through our intentions, thoughts, and actions, what the tradition calls karma. Embracing this truth means taking full responsibility for our mental. In Buddhism, ethical choices are not dictated by divine commands, but emerge as practical guidelines for living in harmony with ourselves and the world. When we choose kindness, honesty, and non-harm, we naturally reduce inner conflict and cultivate a clear. Meditation stands as the central practice in uncovering this inner freedom. It's not about praying to an external entity, but about training the mind to observe its own intricate workings, to gently let go of distractions. The non-theistic approach of Buddhism also profoundly encourages us to let go of fixed concepts, including, if necessary, the concept of a creator God, especially if it becomes a barrier to direct personal experience. Without the concept of a divine arbiter, our responsibility to each other and to all living beings becomes even more profound and immediate. We recognize our inherent interconnectedness, understanding that our well-being is intrinsically linked to the well-being of others. This profound understanding isn't confined to the meditation cushion or the temple walls. It's about seamlessly integrating mindfulness into every aspect of daily life: how we eat, how we work, how we interact with others, and even how we rest.
The tangible result of this non-theistic approach is a deep, unshakable inner peace. It's not a fleeting emotion dependent on external circumstances or the validation of a higher power. Instead, it's a profound resilience born from truly understanding the nature. So, if you seek true freedom and a lasting, authentic peace, know that the immense power resides not in a distant deity, but within you. Embrace this profound journey of self-discovery. Cultivate wisdom and compassion through your own diligent efforts. In our constant search for peace, we often look outside ourselves to grand promises, distant heavens, or the approval of others. We hope that something external will fill the void, mend the brokenness, or grant us lasting tranquility. We often find ourselves trapped in a cycle, seeking happiness in fleeting pleasures, material possessions, or the approval of others. We chase after more wealth, more recognition, more comfort, only to find that even when achieved, Buddhist wisdom offers a different perspective, that peace isn't granted by an external, all-powerful deity, but is a fruit of our own understanding and effort. This non-theistic approach isn't about denying belief in a creator. The mind, in this view, is not merely a passive recipient of external forces, but the architect of our experience. Every thought, every perception, every intention acts as a brushstroke on the canvas of our reality. This self-empowerment extends to our actions, a principle known as karma. Karma isn't a divine judgment, but the natural law of cause and effect. Wholesome actions bring wholesome results. Unwholesome actions bring suffering. Every choice we make. Beyond actions, the path to freedom also involves cultivating wisdom, a deep experiential understanding of reality's true nature. This means seeing impermanence, that all things change, understanding suffering, that clinging to the impermanent leads to dissatisfaction, and realizing non-self. How do we integrate this profound understanding into our daily lives? It's about letting go of the need to control every outcome, embracing acceptance for what is, and finding freedom in simplicity. It means approaching mundane tasks with mindfulness. Meditation, in this context, is not a prayer to an external entity, nor a plea for divine intervention. It is a direct, scientific exploration of the mind itself. It is a laboratory for self-discovery, a practice of observing our thoughts. The tangible result of this path is a peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. It is a profound, stable inner peace, born of wisdom and self-awareness. When you no longer seek happiness outside yourself, this Buddhist path to freedom, rooted in self-empowerment and the direct understanding of your own mind, is not exclusive. It is open to all who seek a deeper, more stable peace. You don't need a specific belief in an external. We've gently touched upon the profound idea that true inner peace might not require an external divine presence. This perspective, often found at the heart of Buddhist teachings, doesn't negate the spiritual, rather it redefines its locus. Now, this journey isn't about absence, but about profound presence, the presence of your own inherent capacity for wisdom, for compassion, and for liberation. It's about recognizing that the seeds of peace, of understanding, and of freedom are already nestled within you. In the tapestry of daily life, this non-theistic perspective brings with it a profound sense of self-responsibility, yet without burden. Each breath we take, each word we utter, each action we engage in becomes a conscious opportunity to cultivate peace. From this awakened viewpoint, ethical choices arise naturally, not from a list of commandments, but from a deep experiential understanding of interconnectedness and universal empathy. When we genuinely see ourselves as an integral part of a vast, interconnected web, meditation, therefore, becomes a direct and potent path to experience this truth for yourself, firsthand. It's not about engaging in supplication or praying for external intervention, but rather about an intimate, courageous observation of the mind itself. Through this practice, this profound path, while liberating, also asks us to bravely and compassionately face the fundamental realities of existence, impermanence, suffering, and the nature of non-self. Instead of seeking solace or comfort in external, eternal promises, the unparalleled freedom inherent in this non-theistic approach is the freedom from needing an external crutch, from passively waiting for salvation to arrive from outside. It's the profound empowerment to cultivate your own liberation, to actively be your own refuge. The tangible inner peace that arises from this journey is not a temporary escape from the world's troubles, but rather a deep, resilient, and unshakable calm that profoundly withstands the ever-changing tides of life. Living with this profound wisdom means engaging with the world not from a place of fear or attachment, but wholeheartedly, with an open, vulnerable heart and a clear, discerning mind. It means actively contributing to peace. So I extend this gentle invitation to you. Explore this path of self-discovery, of inner empowerment. Take a moment each day to sit in stillness, to observe the intricate workings of your own mind without judgment. In our human journey, when faced with life's vast uncertainties and the pain of existence, many instinctively reach outwards. We seek solace, guidance, or even salvation from a higher power, a benevolent force we believe can mend our brokenness, or many of us have prayed, wished, or hoped for divine intervention, only to find that our deepest struggles persist, or that the answers we sought never arrived in the way we expected. This isn't a condemnation of faith.
Buddhism offers a different yet profoundly empowering perspective. It invites us to look not to the heavens, but to our own hearts and minds. The secret to freedom isn't a divine revelation, but a radical act of self-responsibility. This isn't about worshiping a Buddha figure, but about understanding the Four Noble Truths, the truth of suffering, its origin, its cessation, and the path to that cessation. These aren't divine commandments, but profound insights into the nature of existence. The path to peace, therefore, begins with seeing clearly, without judgment, the arising and passing of thoughts, emotions, and sensations. This is mindfulness, the core of Buddhist practice. It's not about achieving a perfect state. The practical implications for daily life are immense. Without a divine command, ethical choices stem from a deeper understanding of cause and effect, of karma. Compassion isn't a rule dictated from above, but a natural outflow of realizing our interconnectedness. Letting go of the need for external validation or the hope for a cosmic savior is not an act of despair, but one of profound liberation. It means trusting your own inherent capacity for wisdom and compassion. Meditation, in this context, is not a prayer to a deity, but a direct inquiry into the nature of your own mind. It's a practice of returning to the breath, observing thoughts without attachment. This path, free from the need for external gods or saviors, doesn't lead to isolation. Instead, it fosters a deep, abiding compassion for all beings, born from understanding our shared humanity and interconnectedness. So if you seek true freedom and lasting peace, begin not by looking up, but by looking in. Explore the profound wisdom within your own mind, cultivate mindfulness, and act from a place of deep understanding. Many of us search for peace outside ourselves, in doctrines or deities, but true freedom often begins when we look within, trusting our own innate wisdom. Buddhism teaches self-empowerment. You are your own refuge. The path to peace isn't found by appealing to an external power, but by cultivating your own understanding. This non-theistic approach isn't about denying belief, but shifting focus. The divine isn't outside, but the wisdom and compassion inherent within all beings, awaiting discovery. Ethical choices, then, stem not from fear of judgment, but from understanding cause and effect.
Our actions create ripples, shaping our world and our inner state. Meditation becomes our laboratory for direct insight. We don't pray for truth. We sit, observe, and discover it for ourselves, free from dogma. Inner peace isn't a gift granted by an external force. It's a harvest reaped from our own efforts, our own mindful attention, our own compassionate heart. This self-reliance isn't isolation, it's true freedom. Freedom to respond wisely, to love unconditionally, grounded in your own unshakable inner peace. This perspective transforms daily life. Even in simple acts, drinking tea, walking, we find profound peace, because peace comes from our presence, not our possessions. The secret to freedom is not a deity, but the unwavering strength of your own cultivated awareness. This is the enduring peace that no external circumstance can truly disturb. Embrace this journey of self-discovery. Sit in stillness, observe with clarity, and let your own inherent wisdom guide you to true and lasting freedom. The path is within. For generations, humanity has yearned for peace, often looking to the heavens, to a higher power, or to external forces for solace. We've been taught that true tranquility might lie beyond our grasp. Buddhism offers a liberating insight. The path to freedom and peace resides not in seeking a divine entity, but in understanding and transforming our own minds. This isn't a denial of spirituality, but a reorientation. This non-theistic approach fosters profound self-empowerment. It places the responsibility and the capability for liberation squarely on our own shoulders. We become the architects of our own peace, understanding that our actions, intentions. In our daily lives, this means facing challenges not with a plea for intervention, but with an empowered mind. When stress arises, we observe it without judgment, understanding its impermanent nature. When difficulties emerge, we look for internal resources, our resilience. Ethical choices, too, stem from this internal understanding. We act with kindness, not out of fear of divine retribution, but from a deep recognition of interconnectedness, that harming others ultimately harms ourselves, and that compassionate action benefits all. Meditation is the direct practice of this self-empowerment. It's not about emptying the mind, but about observing it, its thoughts, emotions, and sensations, with clear, non-judgmental awareness. Through this gentle observation, we begin to untangle ourselves from the mental knots that bind. It's important to clarify, this non-theism is not a militant atheism that denies all spiritual dimensions. Instead, it's a profound focus on what is directly knowable through experience. It invites us to explore the vastness of consciousness. The freedom gained from this perspective is immense. It is the freedom from dependence, from fear of judgment, and from the anxieties of an uncertain future. When we realize that peace is not contingent on external factors. So I invite you to explore this secret to freedom, to turn inwards, to cultivate mindfulness in every moment, to act with compassion, and to realize that the source of peace is not a distant deity. Remember, the truest freedom is the peace that comes from knowing you possess the power to awaken your own heart. It's a peace that no external force can grant or take away, a light that burns steadily within, always accessible. In Buddhism, freedom and peace aren't found by looking to an external power, but by looking inward. It's about empowering yourself to understand your own mind. The Buddha taught that our suffering arises from our own cravings and attachments, not from divine punishment, and freedom comes from understanding and releasing these patterns. This non-theistic approach means we take full responsibility for our thoughts and actions. We don't wait for intervention, we cultivate wisdom and compassion ourselves. This self-empowerment fosters deep ethical choices rooted in compassion for all beings and makes meditation a direct path to inner peace, free from dogma. This is the Buddhist secret to freedom, finding peace within through your own effort and wisdom. Begin to explore this path for yourself today.